So I'm Jessie. I am the art director half of Jess and Jessie.
And I'm Jess, I'm the copywriter. We are currently in TU Dublin.
Yeah. Something that separates out this Masters from others for me is that they really, really champion creativity. They champion you trying and failing. They also champion you doing different things. I was taking art direction classes with Shane and I was like, this is what I'm meant to be doing. The copywriting is fun, but like this challenges me. This is waking up a side of my brain that's been asleep for a really long time. So it's really cool. And Jess is naturally loving the copywriting life and I naturally love the art direction, but we can also both do both, which is amazing. And that's what the Masters gave us.
From the get-go, I was like, this is like where we're meant to be. Like I looked forward to every class, which is never like, I've never done that before. Like from primary school right up, that was never the case. And like every morning I was like, oh, I can't wait to like get into what we're doing today, which I just love.
To me, I didn't realize the scope of jobs within creativity in general and where I could go with my background. I did an undergrad in English and it looked like it was just going to be academia.
We were set up so well to just dive straight in at the deep end and not kind of worrying about whether or not you're going to float because you knew you're going to be able to swim.
For our internship, we did 2 weeks with BBDO. We had the most amazing time. We had a blissful experience. We had a really, really
And it was
time.
all online, obviously, because we did our masters all virtually in the middle of COVID. So I think there's also a lot to be said there that like we got the experience that we did, even though it was just computer screens all day. And like I said from the get-go, like I think it just solidified what we'd already kind of knew from the masters, and that like this is where we were meant to be. Not once during that, like we were there for 2 weeks, we got loads of briefs, we got kind of bits and pieces thrown at us, and it never felt like, oh god, we don't know what we're doing. Like there's still so much learning to be done, and there is always learning to be done
for sure. Yeah,
but to have that foundation that the masters gave us to just kind of set us straight in our path through the internship and to our actual job now.
Learning how to be a good presenter, learning how to fake that kind of confidence is something that not a lot of people are born with. It's something you really have to work at, and I'm not a natural born public speaker, but I think the emphasis on it in the Masters is just so important, especially if you want to be a creative, but if you want to be on the executive stream too, like client services strategy, they all need to be presenting to client faces and they have to sell it or else the job's gone. So being able to have those skills and like properly work on them and treat them as they should be, I think it's really, really great. And that's something that the course definitely helped us both with, I would say,
Yeah, it's really cool just to have two kind of like internationally recognized awards kind of under our belt at this stage. Like that's...
Yeah, and first year out too, which was very daunting. There's a fair bit of imposter syndrome, I think, when you're so young coming into the industry, because you'll be working directly with creatives who have 10 plus years experience and hundreds of awards underneath their belt, and we don't have any. So we were nervous going into it, and then even submitting, we were like, you know, is it going to be the D&AD level that it needs to be? But once you kind of shake that off and realize creativity is just meant to be experimentation, it doesn't matter whether, you know, it works out or not. The whole point is that you're trying and you're, you know, trying something new and you're challenging yourself. And I think it just really benefited us having that kind of background, in that if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but we're gonna do our best and see what happens. And it ended up working out really well, which is good. So we won the graphite new blood pencil for our Duovision idea, which was for the Duolingo brief. And it was essentially just a pairing of the Eurovision Song Contest with the Duolingo app. And we thought they'd make an excellent partnership. You can see it online.
It's helped me kind of set standards that I still hold myself to professionally now. So like I always have kind of lecturers' voices nearly in the back of my head going like, is that like, can you push that any further? Like think more creatively, or, you know, is that as like crafted as it could be? And like that's still something that I do today when I'm working on something. I'm like, okay, no, is there something more I could do this? Like so and so said to look at it from this angle, or to rethink it or write it and then rewrite it. And like the fact that that's kind of pretty much all come from this course is amazing.